I think regret is arguably the worst feeling you could hold on to from a long-term perspective. It's a lingering feeling of immense disappointment and dissatisfaction over one's own actions or inactions and one's own words or silence. It's a conscious but bitter notion that you probably have wasted, missed, or failed an important opportunity or several opportunities that might not be able to present itself or themselves often again or even ever as time passes. Whether it is about a wrong career move, a failure to express our thoughts and feelings to someone, or even just continuously wasting our precious time to make something of ourselves. A circumstance of moral, reputative, and autonomous shock or repulsion. Feelings of deep regrets can make us feel individualistically worthless and gets us to harshly and deprecatively disapprove our own ethical codes and blueprints. Whatever structural and habitual form of conduct and mentality we've built for ourselves beforehand, they will all be questioned and brought to the knees of our own skepticism over their legitimacy and effectiveness, meaning we no longer have vividly the same amount of trust or belief in our own action-taking, decision-making, and judgment-establishing capabilities and rightfulness. Sometimes our cynical and solipsistic tendencies will often interfere and overly consume our utmost priorities that we tend to forget, ignore, or mistreat the other elements surrounding them and outside of them. Like for example, if you focus too much on your career, you tend to neglect other important things like spending some time with your family that you ended up mourning over them extensively when they eventually pass away. Being too captivated by someone's appearance that we completely neglect their other attributes that can make or break the relationship and we ended up desperately wishing we never met that person. Or something even more subtle and intricate, like being so outcome dependent or obsessed on a certain task that you become careless and pay much less attention on committing towards the work properly, that you ended up failing everything due to the accumulation of minor faults and discrepancies. Regret is a very persistent phenomenon when established. Oftentimes, the only thing we can agitatedly and neurotically think of is how things could have, should have, and would have been different if we are able to just turn back time, correct our mistakes, and approach circumstances with a completely different attitude and plan of action. Those horrifying loops of thoughts never leave our minds to the point where we'll start to put even more condemnation on ourselves towards our own seemingly ineptness to navigate the world and make the most of our time. Grieving, cringing, wallowing, shuddering, and even repulsing at our memories of them. Now, if you gentlemen are asking me, how can we get rid of this deeply rotting feeling that just eats away at us from the inside out? My answer is, as you know, you have to find a way to make up for it. Seek some form of retribution or redemption. It's just like depression. Sitting in a dark room trying to helplessly forgive yourself and forget about them will do absolutely no good, because you simply have failed yourself and maybe others big time. You've either deliberately or inadvertently deprived yourself and others from satisfaction, fulfillment, and worthwhileness. When we make major mistakes, we desperately want to correct them. We want explanations, lessons, and guidance to provide some form of clarity towards absolution, not repeat the strenuous experience when we perpetually think about them. Remember, time cannot and will not move backwards, ever. Not even God can turn back time for you. Your only choice is either to correct that mistake if the opportunity can or will present itself again, or compensate for it should the opportunity will never present itself again. Basically, try your absolute best to fix it or make the most of what you can and what you have left to diminish or nullify the hollow unpleasantry. Redemption is the only cure to deprivation. Regret changing jobs? Fix it and find another, more optimal one, or try to reclaim your old job. Regret not spending enough time with your parents after they passed away? Do your best to preserve and glorify what memories you have left with them, or even honor their legacy through an extension of ventures. Regret being in a relationship with someone? Become proficient in vetting future potential partners. Regret wasting time not taking action? Well then take action immediately. We all make mistakes that we think we shouldn't, wouldn't, or couldn't have done. We all have our own collection of regrets, whether major or minor. Life is not perfect, it is what it is. But as I and others have said countless times already, don't waste it through needlessly reliving unpleasant experiences within your dire memories and hopelessly begging that it never happened. The fact is, it had happened, and mostly it is your own undoing. The question is, what are you going to do about it? Keep reminiscing about it, relive the dire experiences and let it eat away at you while you waste even more of your precious time on Earth? Or are you going to plan and construct your road of redemption to reclaim your dignity back? It's entirely your choice, gentlemen. Thank you for watching.